was a music fan before I was ever a journalist. To me, music is so much more than just entertainment. Music defines communities. It tells stories, it motivates, and it heals. I grew up listening to my mom's records and dreaming of hanging out with musicians. And now, it's my job. This is More Than the Music. Welcome to More Than the Music. This week we are headed to beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. Alright guys, this week we're doing something a little bit different. We've got King Khan on the show, and while he's a bit of a departure from the usual Heartland Network jam, I think you're gonna dig it.
Da-da-da! Hi, and welcome back.
Hey guys, we are at the Basement East in Nashville, and we're talking to King Khan today. Super stoked. King Khan, thank you for joining us.
Hello, Stacy. Very nice to meet you.
You as well. I'm so stoked to have you on the show. Like, not super in line with what we usually do here, but it's in line with what I want to do here. So, yeah, thank you.
I'm just confused about what I should do with my hands.
All right, so we have a selection of things here to discuss,
Yes.
amongst my many questions as well. And if you're pressed for time at any point, just be like, I'm done. Drop the mic and walk away.
You have
It's
you
fine.
have as much time as you want.
Thanks. I am a huge fan. I've seen your shows. You are an incredible performer, and I am curious how, being on tour as much as you are, how do you guys keep the energy up for these shows?
Well, I've been doing this since the age of 17, and you know, for me, music was really like an emancipation. You know, I had some pretty crazy stuff happen to me when I was a kid. You know, an abusive dad, you know, who was like a drug addict for a bit, and so I kind of left home, you know, or like ran away from home in a way, and then I think when I found like rock and roll music and punk rock, it was kind of like, you know, finding my true self, you know, and going on stage. Two of our brothers growing up were Mohawk Indians, and they were like, one of them was a total instigator, you know, he loved to make chaos at our shows, and the other one was kind of like a protector. So in a lot of ways, my stage persona was always, I was never afraid of what I was doing, and I'd like to push the boundaries, and it's never really changed. So it's always been this way, and I think that's probably why no one asked me to be on TV until now.
Well, hopefully it'll be safe for
Yeah,
maybe
it's safe, don't worry.
just, you know, if you feel like taking your clothes off, just maybe warn the camera guys
Okay,
ahead of time.
no problem, no
So we
problem.
can take a time code note. This is like the cheesiest question, but I love...
I love cheese.
Okay, good. I want to know what rock and roll means to you, having like left your family when you did at such a young age and finding your like chosen family, so to speak. What does rock and roll mean to you?
Well, I think that rock and roll has always been like I said, a great emancipator. You know, it's like when you look at a lot of the R&B musicians and jazz musicians from the 50s and 60s, you know, especially like the African American ones, you know, when they were in Paris where they felt like people, you know, and so, and especially for me too, when I went to Europe very early at the age of like 22, you know, and my mind was blown when I was there, because like, not only do they really respect rock and roll, but they treat you, you know, like you should be treated. You know, they give you a place to stay, they give you drinks all night. You know, it's like all of this fuel that makes a show amazing is that, you know, like that hospitality, that, you know, and just like kind of like, you know, when you go to an Indian home, you know, they give you like a pillow and for your feet and whatever, you know. So anyways, when you get treated that way, then you want to give back even more to the people, and yeah, so rock and roll has always meant like absolute freedom, you know, and especially like I like to I have a lot of humor in the show, you know, and so, and I like to joke about, you know, everything, you know, sexuality, and it's because rock and roll breaks these boundaries down.
So the first time I saw you were playing with the Shrines, and now you mostly seem to play with Barbecue.
Oh, well, I still do both.
Okay.
Yeah, the Shrines, basically, when I started, I was the only one with kids, and now my kids are like 16 and 19, and so now everyone else decided to have babies. And, you know, frankly, I'm just kind of over the baby thing. But no, yeah, so they have babies, and you know how that is. You know, it's like it's harder to tour. We're still touring and stuff. But I started a new punk band. It's called Louder Than Death.
Awesome.
And that is
around here somewhere.
Right here.
Awesome.
And for those who are interested, I have a nude picture of me here.
Ice cold.
Ice cold, that's right. That's me in my studio.
Nice.
And the cover was drawn by my daughter. And it's the police officer that killed Eric Garner, the man who was selling cigarettes. And it says "Stop und fick dich," which in German means stop and you. But yeah, so I started this project, and I've been doing that quite a bit. And this is kind of my vacation band.
Let's check out this video from King Khan's new band, Louder Than Death.
Kitchen got scabies, birds and the bees on fire. Spicy chicken, you're my desire. Cook's gonna go to maybe. He looks like he's kinda crazy. His brain looks like it's gravy, and I just wanna have your baby. Spicy chicken, LSD. Spicy chicken, baby, you and me. Spicy chicken, PCP. Let's start a happy family. Your spicy chicken got rabies. Rats in the kitchen got scabies. Birds and the bees on fire. Spicy chicken, you're my desire. Cook's gotta go to maybe. He looks like he's kinda crazy. His brain looks like it's gravy, and I just wanna have your baby. Spicy chicken, LSD. Spicy chicken, baby, you and me. Spicy chicken, ECP. Let's start a happy family. Spicy, spicy chicken. 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 Spicy, you're so spicy. Spicy chicken, LSD. Spicy chicken, baby, you and me. Spicy chicken, ECP. Let's start a happy family. Let there be light. Lights. Let there be drums. Drums. Let there be guitar. Guitar. Oh, you're so spicy. So spicy. Your spicy chicken got rabies. Rats in the kitchen got scabies. Birds and the bees on fire. Spicy chicken, you're my desire. Cook's gonna go to maybe. He looks like he's kind of crazy. His brain looks like it's gravy, and I just wanna have your baby. Spicy chicken, LSD. Spicy chicken, baby, you and me. Spicy chicken, PCP. Let's start a happy family. Spicy chicken, LSD. Spicy chicken, baby, you and me. Spicy chicken, PCP. Let's start a happy family.
Here's more of my talk with King Khan. So you have played all over the world. I could sit here and list places from my research. You've been everywhere.
Yes, I've been everywhere, man.
See, that's right in line with the show. So where's your favorite audience? Where do people react the best to your music?
It's different everywhere, you know. I think that in Europe, I mean, I guess when you've done it for so long, right? People know what to expect when you're coming over. So like the shock factor is not that high anymore. But we don't do shocking things, like, I mean, not on purpose, you know, like sometimes, you know, pants will be dropped or something funny will happen, but not as bad as it was before with the Black Lips, for example. You know, there was like blood and guts and pee, and there's all sorts of stuff going on stage.
G.G. Allen.
But yeah, no, now it's like the rock and roll speaks for itself, and our audiences are so wild, and it's a mixed bag, you know. It's like Atlanta, for example, the last 2 times we've played in Atlanta, there's been a naked girl on stage doing butt snaps. You know, and you know, you don't ask for stuff like that. It's like it's given to you.
It's a gift from the universe.
It's a gift from the universe, and exactly, you know. And maybe one day, you know, I'll just knock on your door and do butt snaps for you.
Oh goodness.
Oh, you're blushing.
Probably. I love it. All right, so I want to talk about this Black Power Tarot that you created with Michael Eaton, an Irish artist that I love very much.
Yes. Okay, so basically the person that I learned tarot from, his name is Alejandro Jodorowsky, and he's like a surrealist filmmaker. He's also one of those mentors that I was searching for and actually was able to find. Jodorowsky basically kind of preserved the original tarot, which they think it's called the Tarot de Marseille, from Marseille, France. The story of tarot is that like the numbering is basically the path of illumination, and the first card is the 0, which is the Fool, and the last card is the World, right? So it's the Fool, and every step and the number is the Fool like finally understanding the world. So it's really important to know that is the way it's numbered, because when you lay the cards down, you know, you're painting a picture almost in front of you, and it really matters about the sacred geometry. Like if the emperor is looking this way, there's a reason, you know, he might be ignoring what's happening on this side, and it's a process that it took me more than 10 years to like figure out how to do it, you know.
Yeah.
And then I had a dream, like a revelational dream, and Jodorowsky was in the dream. And I was talking to him in the dream, and then he looked at me, and he was drunk, and he had a beard, and he was like, "Show me a card that is weird." And I was like, "What? A card that is weird? Like, what does that mean?" And then I looked in my pocket, and there was a tarot card in it, and I pulled it out, and I'd never seen it before, and he hadn't either. And we stared at it, and we were like, "Yes, that is weird." And then he got sleepy, and he fell asleep in my arms like a baby. But he's like old, you know, so it's kind of strange.
Yeah.
But anyways, when I woke up, then I just totally knew that I had to make a new deck of tarot, you know. And I noticed that most of the decks of tarot I see are with white people, European. They're mostly blonde, actually, white and blonde. So I mean, then I was like, how do I bring or how do I explain the whole path of illumination? I chose people that were specific to each card, you know, like Howling Wolf is the Emperor, you know, Little Richard is the Chariot, Sun Ra is the Sun. And a lot of people always ask me, like, "Oh, why isn't this guy in there, or Jimi Hendrix?" You know, well, the reason is because I think everyone that I chose, also, well, specifically they're supposed to be for that card, but also because I think that those people followed a path of illumination, and during their lifetime, even faced with all this like racial hatred and craziness, you know, they were able to
transcend it.
Yeah, transcend it, exactly, and illuminate and find world understanding.
More than the music after these messages. Welcome back to More Than the Music.
I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you a story about when I started calling myself Black Snake. I was kind of like doing the manager stuff for the band, so I was trying to book shows, and I was 17, and I would call like clubs in like the States, like New York, you know, and stuff. And when I would call and I would be like, "Hey, my name is, you know, blah, 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 from the Space Shits," like they would just hang on the phone. "Oh, I'm from Canada," like, meh. But when I started going, "Yeah, this is Black Snake from the Space Shits," they were just like, "Oh, hey, Black Snake, what would you like?" "We'd like to come and play the show on August 12th. "Oh, no problem. Okay, you know. So I learned at an early age that myth actually can turn into reality. And this is something that I really feel very strongly about, and I learned from. Later, I discovered Sun Ra, and he takes it to another level, a spiritual level. But like at first, I learned that, you know, you create this myth, and like all of these rock and rollers that I love and admire, Little Richard, you know, Bo Diddley, Chuck Berry, you know, Jerry Lee Lewis, you know, yeah, everyone in this deck, Nina Simone, everyone. There was a myth that they became, you know, and that was the same thing. I mean, at first I learned to be Black Snake, and I was, you know, getting my way with this punk rock band. And then later when I discovered Sun Ra, for me that was the first time I felt that I discovered religious music.
When I was doing my research for this interview, I read or watched something about you meeting your elder doppelganger in Germany. Will you please tell me this story?
Oh wow, okay, this is I guess it happened sometime in early 2000s. It was in Berlin. And I went to a bar, and it's like 24-hour kind of scuzzy bar. I opened the door, it was the winter, and an old man answered, and he was from Somalia, and he looked like me, but we both had the same hat and the same feather in the hat and the same scarf. And he looked at me, he was like, "You look like me!" Like, not in a friendly way, but like in a shocking way. And I was like, "Oh my God, I do!" You know, and I hid in the corner of the bar, and then he came over, and he was really like nuts, and he was like telling us about it. He's like, "You have to listen to the beat," and slamming his hand against the table, and then my friend who was recording with me, he went up to him for a second, and he was like, "Don't touch me, white man!" You know, like, anyways, it was very strange. It was super aggressive, but also very funny. And then he started saying like, "I'm the Electric Sailor, and I can speak Italian and French," and like he started speaking all these languages, and then it started to really like hit me that like, oh my God, this guy looks like me, and I could imagine me doing this when I'm 70. He was 70 years old, you know, like at this same bar maybe in Berlin, you know, and so I was just kind of scared. And then he told me his name, and his name was Hassan Hersi Ali Gama, it's a crazy long name, and I wrote it in a journal, and I went to the train station after, and I was very drunk, and I was staring at this piece of paper, and I was like, oh my God, like my real name, the letters are in the words. And then I played with the words like a lot of psychopaths do, and I found Arish is a shaman gal, which makes sense because if I was shamanic, I would be very effeminate, you know. But I'm more of a shark hunter than a healer.
All right, I have one other thing that I want to do with you, that I like to call 7 favorites. I can't jazz hands when I've got a mic in my hand.
I can jazz hands.
Thank you. So I'm just going to name something, and you're going to tell me your favorite.
Okay.
Very straightforward. What's your favorite food?
Ooh, oysters.
What's your favorite book?
Ooh, that's really tough. Oh, I'll say The Book of Joe.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. This is a book of Joe Coleman's paintings that he just gave to me. He's officially my uncle, and I am officially his voodoo priest.
What's your favorite movie?
I'm going to say The Holy Mountain.
What's your favorite place?
Oh, wow. I love Berlin. That place is just absolutely incredible.
What's your favorite sport?
You know what? I really don't like sports.
You're from Canada.
I'd rather listen to records than watch a guy play with his balls.
This is a fun one. I'm having fun.
I'm having a good time, too.
What's your favorite artist?
I love a lot of outsider art, folk art.
If you're a folk art guy, have you been to Howard Finster's Paradise Garden?
Yes,
Okay,
I love
good.
that place.
Yeah,
Awesome. That's kind of my dream, to make something like that with the Black Power Tarot. Basically, I started doing this art exhibition with the tarot. I have these giant versions of the cards. They're like about the size of a door each, about 6 feet by 3 feet.
Awesome.
And I do the exhibition, and it basically turns into a church, you know, a church of like rock and roll, and like it's a passion that turned into something very important in my heart, because I feel like Black Power is something that's so misunderstood in the minds of everyone. You know, like Black Power is about healing, you know, and it's not about just being black. It's like it's about compassion, you know, and helping people who are suffering, and understanding that suffering and making it your own, you know. And I feel like that's what these cards are about, you know, like it's a form of healing. What we're witnessing right now in the world is like there's an old way of thinking that's just clutching onto making life crappy for everyone. But these people are going to die in like 10 years, and then the young people will take over, and it'll be great, and it'll be easy. So yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm very happy, actually.
Look at that sunset, by the way. You've got your back to it.
Oh my God, that's so gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Wow. You see, life is good.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I had a blast talking to King Khan. I hope you all enjoyed watching it. I know it was a bit of a departure from the usual Heartland Network fare, but I think it was a good time. That's a wrap on Season 2. We've had so much fun this season, talked to so many amazing artists and producers and mastering engineers. We cooked, we rode horses, Season 3 is going to be just as much fun. We'll see you then.